What is the optimal way for us to reach our creative potential? Is it being in a place of solitude, isolation, or is it being around a lot of different people? Is it being around people that are just like us, or is it being around diverse groups of people that have different perspectives and points of views? I'm going to attempt to answer all these questions on this video and really tie in the reason why I go to church every Sunday.
Indy Jones, back with a trendy flow. I'm still trying to find my voice in this here scenario. Here we go.
Hey, what's going on? My name is Ruslan, creative entrepreneur, artist, spoken word, poet, all those different things. And some of you guys know, been on tour for the past couple weeks, got home. It's been awesome to be back home, settled in. And as I'm reflecting a lot of these different experiences that I've had on the road, one of the reoccurring themes that I think I kind of keep circling back around is creatives that are one of two extremes. They're either extremely isolated and alone and have no one to create and collaborate with, or they're very open and want a lot of different voices and ask a lot of different people for their feedback. And it creates these two different extremes where they don't really have enough self-awareness to know their own story and how to navigate. Early on in my development as an artist, I found faith in Jesus. I started going to church. Some of you guys know I'm a believer, I'm a Christian. And going to a local church was one of the best things that ever happened for me as a creative. Here's why. One, it opened me up to people that were different than me. Different ethnicities, different socioeconomic backgrounds, different political affiliations, different life seasons, different income variations, business practices, career fields, and it opened me up to a real diverse group of people. Two, it allowed me to bounce ideas off of people that were like me and that weren't like me, and I pressed in and I ended up serving in church. I ended up being a bunch of different small groups and Bible studies. I did a lot of different things, from teaching the junior high kids to setting up sound every Sunday morning, to eventually my last job was I was on staff at the church that I've been going to for the past 15 years, a church called The Movement in San Marcos, and I got to teach on Sunday mornings and all these different things. And it was a very wide spectrum of experiences that I think built me up in a lot of the ways that I've grown to be successful as a creative and as an entrepreneur. It forced me to use both sides of my brain. It forced me to consider different perspectives and the nuance that people carry as individuals, but also as groups of people. And I think it could be very dangerous to create art strictly from a place of isolation, where you are ultimately the only one that has to approve. You tend to lack self-awareness, you lack what the things you should be talking about, what your story is, what makes you unique. Or if you're open to too many people, you get caught up and you get blown to and fro by the different perspectives and the different trends that are happening in society and in culture. And I think the value of a local church has a lot on a spiritual side, in terms of me having people in my life that can call me on things, me having people in my life that are challenging but encouraging, edifying, and also just the spiritual context of being a part of a local ecclesia, a local body of Christ, a local community, a local fellowship that we see Jesus saying that's what he built. And that's the way he wanted to use people. And then we see the apostles, Paul and Peter, all pouring themselves into local ecclesias. So I think for a lot of the things that God desires for us to do, there's practical benefits to it. So God says, hey man, I want you to be in community. I want you to be around people. I want you to be around people that are going to encourage you, people that are going to correct you. I want you to be around people that are like you, share similar interests, and people that aren't like you and could give you different perspective. All of this is for our spiritual benefit, but it's also for our personal development, the trajectory of our lives. And so if you're an artist, if you're a creative, and you're isolated, you're alone, you don't know where to start, I would make sure that you can find some type of local community, some type of local church that can celebrate you and not just tolerate you, that can build you up as well as be honest with you and tell you the truth about areas you may be falling short in, and ultimately that can hold you accountable to what you were created to do and created to be as a creative and as a business person, as an entrepreneur, whatever it is that you're trying to do. So the church, man, has been so awesome to me in so many different ways. They're very supportive. I'm very much so pro local church. I didn't grow up a Christian. I didn't grow up a believer. I didn't grow up going to church regularly. And it wasn't something I discovered until I was older. And I just got plugged in and threw myself in. And by doing that, trying different things and getting an opportunity to speak and communicate, which led me to do videos like this and led me to teach and led me to develop content, everything to that. So being able to rap on a Sunday morning or being able to lead people or try different things, it really was for my benefit. And I think it's interesting how the things that we're obedient to oftentimes end up working out for our benefit. So don't overlook the value of local community. Don't ignore the things that can be pulled out of you when you're around creative people, when you're around different people, when you're around people that are going to encourage you and affirm you in the things that God is calling you to do, and having a place where you can just try different things, man. A lot of young people that I've met on this last tour we did just don't have that. They have a few friends and they have a lot of internet friends, but they don't have real genuine people in their life. They don't have any spiritual mothers and fathers. They don't have any mentors. They don't have any type of support system that's keeping them accountable personally and spiritually, and also pushing them to walk and go further. And so if you're looking for a local church, look for a place that can celebrate you and not just tolerate you, meaning celebrate your differences, celebrate what you add to the community. Look for a church that's going to help build you up and not just ask you to assimilate to whatever the protocol is. Look for a church that you could serve in. Look for a church that you can be a part of a small community and that you can be challenged in, because all of these things really do add to our development, and it's a great way for us to grow and to evolve and to become the very people that God's created us to be. So I want to hear from you guys. How are you doing with local community? Do you feel isolated? Do you feel alone? I get the sense that a lot of people are, and I want to hear from you guys in the comment section. And if you are isolated, you are alone, and you feel like, you know, you don't have anybody in your corner, what is a next step you could take right now to get over that hump? If you're in a local church or you have a local community that's encouraging you, break that down in the comment section. How is that going for you? What are some of the benefits? What are some of the pros? What are some of the beautiful parts about being a part of a local community? How is that working out for you? Leave that in the comment section below. Thank you for checking out this video. Smash that subscribe button, like, share this with a friend. There's a lot of people that need this specific video today, and I want you to share it with some people, and let's help this channel and this content spread. So thank y'all so much. Peace.
I am so incognito, far away from him, incognito, came in one way, incognito, not leaving the same. I am down with the top down, waiting for the countdown, all grace, no wishes, no loans, no interest, feels good, Tony, yeah, Tony, we the ones show, yeah, what with the link, playing for the winning team, you ain't never heard of me, vegans, y'all really want the beef, all with the black, race for the slack, ain't a handout, you understand where I'm at, show up to the spot, I said welcome on the map, but they ain't wanna let us in, so we came through the back, look, oh man, Lord bless you with the bands, hoping, he gon' bless you with the tent, no win, buddy, I ain't about to land, floating, I'm the black Peter Pan, I do not need your love, my king